So yesterday was National UFO Day, July 2nd, which is awesome, my favorite holiday of the year. But today is the 5-year anniversary for my close encounter, and I've had many encounters with UFOs over the years, and but one particular really sticks out because that really set like the like the whole tone of everything, because it was after that encounter that I was like, I knew what was going on, like I was 100%, and it was like real exciting and stuff. So it was July 3rd, 2011, 5:45 in the afternoon, so it was almost 6 o'clock. So I'm out on the roof of my house in Maryville, Indiana, and at this time I had built a UFO hunting platform by then. My first sighting took place back in December 27th, but by July, like I was having sightings all the time and stuff, like I was seeing stuff, and so I like was getting like all these like weird ideas and stuff, and I had built a UFO hunting platform on my house, on my roof, and I was sitting outside because people were lighting off fireworks. They do like all weekend before the 4th or whatever, and I'm sitting outside with a high-powered laser, and it was really interesting because at first I'm just like like shooting the laser around, looking at the fireworks and stuff, and I always thought this was really weird, but I never thought about it until years later. Like I was like, that's kind of weird. So let me tell you, I had like all my gear with me, so I had cameras and a telescope and a spotting scope and night vision and binoculars. Just I had a whole little gear of everything, and it was still light outside. Okay, so I had all my stuff in the bag, just just sitting there chilling, just waiting for it to get dark. And I had this fucking BB gun. I had like this pellet gun that had like I put one of my high-powered lasers on it, and this owl came and landed on the tree, probably like 10 feet from me, and it was freaky because it was just sitting there just fucking staring at me, and I was like, ah. And I was like, all right, go away, owl, go on now, get. And they wouldn't leave, so I was like, fuck you, and I grabbed the fucking BB gun and I shot at it, but it didn't fucking move, it didn't do anything. I was like, and I'm like aiming right at it, and I was like, bing, and it didn't move, nothing. I was like, what the fuck, dude? And I checked, and I had BBs in there and everything, and I had a full cartridge of CO2, so I was like, maybe I'm just missing. So I turned a laser on, and I beamed him with the laser, and I was like, pop, 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 so I could shoot 10 in a row, and I was like, I shot all 10, and it didn't do anything. It just stood there. I was like, all right. And then it screamed at me. I was like, ah! I was like, ah! And it flew away. I was like, that was really freaky, but maybe it kind of led to what was about to happen. I don't know. But so anyway, so I'm sitting there, and fireworks are being lit off, and I'm on top of my UFO hunting platform, and the sun was still up and everything. People are in the street lighting off fireworks. Then I'm looking up, and out of nowhere, and I mean literally out of nothing, a black UFO, a black sphere, about 4 feet in diameter, came out of nothing. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like it was like a ball just coming through a wall, just, and I was like shocked that I like witnessed it happen. Like I was like, holy fuck, dude. And it came and it floated over right above my head, and it just started sitting there just spinning, just rotating slowly. And it was perfectly like gunmetal black, and it had like this center line going around, like this thin, what looked like a line going around the center of it, and underneath it, it had like lines that would go from the bottom up to the center line. So kind of like if you were looking at a pumpkin, like from underneath, kind of like that, except it was perfectly spherical, you know? And I was like, holy fuck, dude. Literally, it was probably about 8 feet away. So if I would have stood up, I could have touched it. Okay, this is how close it was. Like, I swear to God. That's how close it was. So it was right above me. And I don't know why, but I just like reacted to it. I was just like, fuck it, dude. And I hit it with the laser beam. And the second I hit it, all the thoughts in my head echoed like, bah, like fucking everything echoed like, bah, like it shook, like everything was just multiplied by like 1,000. I couldn't, like all the thoughts. So you're just thinking in your head, like you're like, oh, there's fireworks going on over here, there's a black sphere over there, I'm sitting on the roof, don't fall off. All those thoughts went fucking bah, and they all echoed, like everything fucking echoed. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's just like, oh, it's so intense. I let go of the laser, like, holy shit. It freaked me out. And it just stood and spun for a little bit. And then it floated right next to the tree where the owl was, and then floated over top of it. And I couldn't see it. And I was like, holy fuck, dude. Now, I had seen what we had called like a probe, like UFO before. But never like this up close. Never like, you know, like right fucking there. And so I jump down off of the roof, and then I run to the window, because it's like 3 stories. So I jump onto the second roof, and then I run and climb to the window, and I run through the window, through the bedroom, then down the hallway to my sister and brother-in-law's room, and I start yelling for them, because I'm, you know, like I told my twin before about, you know, seeing a probe, and I said, I'm like, the probe's back, oh my God. And Dan, my brother-in-law, he's in his boxers. Now, Candace and I had told him that we had I'd been seeing UFOs, and that Candace even saw one. And Dan's like, I want to see one. And I'm like, well, you know, it floated away. It's starting to float away. I'm like, we might be able to see it if we run outside. And he's like, fuck it. He's just in his boxers. He didn't care. And so now all this time we run back down the hallway, down the stairs, and out the front door. And as soon as we open the front door, it's sitting in the driveway, just spinning. And my fucking brother said, fuck, like he was like, holy fuck, dude, like, you know. And I was like, oh shit, man. And it's just sitting there fucking spinning. And I'm like, I didn't know what was coming over me, but I was like, I'm gonna go up to it. So I start walking up to it, and I feel this fucking, like, this gravity wave, I thought, or something, kind of like holding me back. I'm like, what the fuck, you know, what's going on? And I thought there was some kind of weird force like holding me back, until I realized it was my fucking brother-in-law. He's got the back of my shirt, and he's like, wait, don't look. Like, he's like fucking, oh, wait, like he's freaked the fuck out. And I was like, oh fuck, like I thought there was something like, it was like fucking, I thought there was like this force pushing me back, but it's actually my fucking brother-in-law pulling my shirt back. And he was like, wait, like he was like afraid for me for some reason. But it was weird, because as soon as I like started stepping towards the UFO, it started moving away. And then when I stopped, it stopped. And it just sat there and was spinning. And then I look over on the street, and there are people on the street lighting off fireworks, man. Completely oblivious to what's happening. And my sister runs, and she's like, Dan and I are already off the porch, and I'm getting close. Dan's like a couple feet back behind me, still like holding onto my shirt though, like stretched out. And then fucking I hear Candace, oh my God, you know, and I turn around and I see Candace. She's like, holy fuck, dude. And then I'm like, I look back at it, and it starts moving its way into the street. So I'm like, fuck it. And I start like running up to it, and it just goes into the street, and then it just starts floating up at like a 30-degree angle. And we get out in the street, and no one even noticed the UFO until a younger girl was like, we could hear her was like, is he in his boxers? And then she was talking about my brother-in-law, and then the dad he was with, he was like, hey, Dan, you know. And Dan's like, fucking look, you know. And then he looked up, he was like, holy fuck. And you know, he saw it before it started to float away. And he did, like, everyone was like fucking just, they were fucking shocked. And I get into the house, and I start screaming, I fucking knew it! Like, I'm fucking going crazy. Like, I fucking knew it. I knew it, motherfuckers. God damn it. I fucking knew it. I wasn't crazy. I'm not crazy. I fucking told you. And it was fucking intense. It was really, really intense. But that, like, set the, like, the whole tone for everything. Now, I had, another experience. I've had quite a few of them, but there was another one that was really interesting that I've had only a handful of ones that were like spectacular sightings, but and one of them I'm going to mention right now. Now this was before July 3rd, okay? One of the things that like happened, and I don't know if this is how it works or something, I'm just like guessing, I guess, but like I started having the feeling to like go out to places that I've never been to go and look for a UFO. Like, and it was so, the drive was so fucking strong. Like, I would do it, like, I would wake up in the middle of the night, and I would just get up, and like, oh, I'd be so tired, and I would just go and grab my keys and everything, and go and hop in the car, and I would drive 25, 30, 40, sometimes 50 miles away. I didn't know where the fuck I was going. I would just go out to the middle of a fucking cornfield, and wait to see a UFO. And I'm not gonna lie, man, it was scary as fuck being out there by myself. Like, I didn't know what the fuck, I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing out there. And how, like, I was like, I didn't know why I was at the right spot, but I knew it. I was like, oh yeah, this is it right here. So that had been happening a couple times, and one time I'm sitting out, and the sun's just starting to come up, okay? And I'm at this like synagogue, some kind of temple or something, and I'm like in the parking lot surrounded by cornfield, and I see this ball of light, this orange ball of light floating over, and I got my high-powered laser. I'm hitting it with the laser. I'm like, wow, this thing's so neat. And it starts fucking floating and floating. And then it looks like it's about to go down the horizon, and then it just stops. And it's just sitting there for a second. I'm like, wow, it's fucking neat. And then it starts like growing really, really big. And I'm like, oh man, this is fucking cool. And then as I looked, I realized, oh fuck, it's not growing. It's coming straight at me, so it's got bigger like that, that's, I'm like, oh fuck. And then as it started to get close, I'm like, I got this fucking like great feeling, because I'm like, I'm gonna see what it is. I'm gonna see what's under the light. I don't know why I knew this, but I just knew that I was going to. And as it fucking came, the light went out, and it started from the center, and the light went out and formed a black flying delta. Like, it wasn't a triangle, it was like a V, like the letter V, just like, and it was crazy because it didn't fly like a plane. You know how a plane, like its wings would, fly like that. It flew like a shark's fin in water, like this, like perfectly like that. And it was probably doing like 10 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour. It was just creeping. It had 5 lights on it, and they were all evenly spaced. And as it started to flow over, I start hitting it with the laser. And when I hit the black part of the craft, the laser like reached out. It like started like it looked like kind of like electricity kind of went like kind of like spread around it. It was fucking weird, because normally when I hit something with a laser, it just has a point. It's just like a beam with a point. But for some reason, like, the laser light was going, like, it was like shooting all over the craft, like fucking, like, it looked like kind of like green electricity was kind of like going and like shocking its way just like around a big section of the craft. So I was like, wow, that's fucking neat, man. And I couldn't help it. I was just like, hitting it with the fucking laser, and it slowly, it flew away, and again, I was like, man, I should chase after this thing, and I was thinking about it, and then I was like, man, I wanted to see one so bad again, even though I just saw that. Like, I started like praying, kind of like, I just was just like praying, like hoping, like mentally, just like, please, and then I had this crazy feeling, and I looked up, and I saw another ball of light. But this time, this ball of light was probably like 30 feet in the air, man. Like I was like, holy fuck, dude. But it was like a little ball of light. And then as it floated over top of me, it turned into these two double spirals, and they lit up like this, like boom, 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 boom. Like each spiral, like fucking like worked its way out into a big disc. It's hard to describe, but that's what fucking happened. I don't know. It was like a little point of light, and then it went boom, 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 and it did these two double spirals that spiraled out into a big disc, and it all formed a big like disc of light. And then that's all I could fucking see was this huge like bright disc of light. And then the light went out, and it slowly like shrunk its way back down to a little tiny orb, even smaller than it was before. And then it just kind of, you know, floated away. And I was so happy, you know, and I knew like after that, I knew like it was gonna be closer, like I would have a closer encounter. And so, you know, I like made it a point to go out and you know, whenever like I had that feeling that I needed to go and see them, like I went, you know. And it's just whenever it was, you know, I was just like, I gotta go. So that's what I fucking did. And you know, there's some weird things that fucking, you know, like I had this fucking, like, you guys know my tattoo, my crop circle. Okay, so I don't know why, but when I built the UFO hunting platform on my house, I also painted this symbol on the roof. I'm not sure why I did that. I'm not a fan of crop circles at all. I just came across it, and I was like, it just stuck out to me for some reason. I was like, wow, that symbol, just this sign just meant something to me. And I thought it was weird because I'm like, I don't believe in crop circles, so I don't know what the symbol has to do with it, but I was obsessed with it to the point where I was like, I gotta get that tattooed on my neck. Like, I want the world to know. And which is why I have my tattoos. And so I got my crop circle and my gray alien. And then this is the flying triangle. This is the one I saw that night that I was, you know, just telling you about. You know, my encounters meant so much to me that I wanted it to be expressed on my body where it couldn't be avoided. Like, when you look at me, you have to see my neck and my tattoos, because it's something that I'm proud of, and means a lot, because it is real. It's just, there's no other way around it. And so I was like, well, fuck, I'm gonna have to sport it. I'm gonna have to just let the world know. So I've never been I always fight for the truth, and then that's, you know, because it's real. So when you're in a position like I'm in, where you want to tell somebody but you can't because they're like, oh, you're crazy. Fuck, man. You don't know how many fucking you don't even know, man. I straight up broke up with my girlfriend over UFOs, because there's a reality there, and the situation was just like, that's what you do. That's what I had to do. It's fucking, it kind of sucks. It takes over your whole life. But, I mean, the shit that happens to you is just so, it's worth it. God, when I think about it, man. It's just worth it. So yesterday was National UFO Day, July 2nd. We've been sightings all the time and stuff. Like, I was seeing stuff, and so I, you know, like was getting like all these like weird ideas and stuff, and I had built a UFO hunting platform on my house, on my roof, and I was sitting outside because people were lighting off fireworks. They do like all weekend before the 4th or whatever, and I'm sitting outside with a high-powered laser, and it was really interesting because at first I'm just like like shooting a laser around, looking at the fireworks and 100%, and it was like real exciting and stuff. So it was July 3rd, 2011, 5:45 in the afternoon. So it was almost 6 o'clock. So I'm out on the roof of my house in Maryville, Indiana, and at this time I had built a UFO hunting platform by then. My first sighting took place back on December 27th, but by July, like I was having stuff, and I always thought this was really weird, but I never thought about it until years later. Like I was like, that's kind of weird. So let me tell you, I had like all my gear with me. So I had cameras and a telescope and a spotting scope and night vision and binoculars. Just I had a whole little gear of everything, and it was still light outside. Okay, so I had all my stuff in the bag, just just sitting there chilling, just waiting for it. Just awesome, my favorite holiday of the year. But today is the 5-year anniversary for my my close encounter, and I've had many encounters with UFOs over the years, and but one particular really sticks out because that really set like the like the whole tone of everything, because it was after that encounter that I was like, I knew what was going on, like I was